Hey, this is the most penalized coach in America. Gene Steratore, thank you very much for that honor. And this is the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast, sponsored by Reps Virtual Reality, First Down Playbook, Rack Coach, Tip of the Spear, The Top Hopper, Sports Workbook, and Next Pick. Coach Brett Shockley, thank you very much for coming on, Coach. You've been at the same school for 18 years, so I know you're a good coach, and I know y'all are winning, and you're friends with Bill Best.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Coach, for everybody that's watching or will watch, tell us a little bit about yourself, Coach, and your background.
Well, grew up Conway, Arkansas, played there, and then went to University of Arkansas. Went under Danny Ford up there. Had a great coach with Mike Bender and Charlie North were my two offensive line coaches. So I had two really good ones right there. Bender, the relationship I had with him lasted well past playing for him and then coaching. Then Coach Nutt came in my third year up there and had Mike Marks in there. So I had two really good offensive line coaches, or three during my time there at Arkansas. And then I went and worked at Arkansas Tech as a GA for 2 years. Then went and worked in Hutch, Kansas at Hutch JUCO for 2 years. And then came to Ouachita in 06. And I've been here at Ouachita Baptist since 2006 now. So going on 19 seasons, I guess. So really been a while, or 18 seasons. However many it's been a bunch. I know that.
Wow,
so,
Coach.
Been here a while, and we've had a great run. We've had worked for a great guy in Todd Knight. He's been here going on. This will be his 25th season. So we've had a great run with him leading the helm and leading the program. And it's hard to stay somewhere 25 years as a head coach, as y'all all know. And he's been able to do it, weather a lot of storms. And definitely he leads the way, and he starts it from the top with us and how he leads us and everything.
Yeah, Coach. So before we got on, you were telling me about a book that you're reading, and I wanted you to share that with the coaches out there.
Oh, yeah. It's called Steal My Soldier's Heart, and it's by Colonel David Hackworth. And biggest thing is it just talks about a unit he took over during the Vietnam War. This guy started off in World War II, then fought in Korea, then went on and fought in Vietnam. And I'm sure he was in it further after that. I don't know after that. But anyway, this just kind of goes over him taking over a unit in Vietnam and everything, and how he kind of turned them around. It's just cool to see the interaction between what he did to transform them. It kind of goes along the same lines of a book called It's Your Ship, kind of the same type deal. Just goes along those lines of getting people to take pride in it, much like getting everybody to march to the same heartbeat, getting everybody to go the same way, getting everybody to think the same, do the same thing. Just a lot of it transpires with offensive line play and getting guys to speak the same and do the same stuff, and communication, and taking pride in it, taking pride in doing something that nobody else wants to do. And that's where he really talks about it, is getting their heart into it and getting them motivated into it.
Amen,
so it's just
Coach.
a really cool book.
And the name of it is what again, Coach?
Steal My Soldier's Heart.
Steal My Soldiers' Hearts. So it all, I mean, I think it was a girl told me this once, Coach. She said, I think she might have been dating my buddy, but she said, Troy, do you know one place you can touch a woman to drive her crazy? And I was like, I was probably about 20, Coach. I said, I don't know. She said, her heart. I was like, oh, yeah, Coach. The one place you could touch a woman that'll drive them crazy is their heart, and anybody. I mean,
if you can
talk about that, Coach, your heart. I mean, you touch people's hearts, man.
It goes back to, I had a high school coach, Kenny Smith. He told me when I first got into coaching, I asked him and Bender both, how did y'all motivate? How did y'all do things? And both of them said, it's the old saying, we've all heard it 1,000 times. They don't care how much you know. Do they know how much you care? And the players got to know you care about them. The players got to know you're buying into them. You have their best interest at heart, whether it's off the field, whether it's on the field. And if you can get them to buy into that and get them to know that you truly care about them, and that's one thing we've done here, is we primarily recruit out of high school. We build them up in the program. And last year I graduated 6 seniors, and out of those 6, 3 of them were 6-year players, and the other ones were 5-year players. Very seldom do you see that this day and age. And they were multiple all-conference, all-American guys and that kind of stuff. So very seldom do you see that in this day and age of the transfer portal. But I think if you start it from the top with what Coach Knight's done, and then the leadership there, and work its way down, those players see it, and those players are loyal to you, and you're loyal to them. And I think that goes a long way. They know you have your best interest.
So y'all actually recruit high school players still?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
every day. Every
There
day.
aren't y'all are like the dinosaurs, man. Y'all are like Bigfoot. It's like a unicorn. I can't
No
believe
doubt.
it, man.
No doubt. No doubt. It's definitely a nice thing. You go in there and see them, and it's just keep the same thing going and keep it rolling like it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say we wouldn't take a couple of difference makers here or there at a few positions out of the portal, but we're going to build the program through high school for sure.
So Mike Martz, that was the NFL coach, was your O-line coach?
Mike Markson? Yes, sir.
Yep. Wow. Is he out?
Markson? I'm not sure what he's doing now. I'm not.
Okay, right on. I thought you were talking about the Rams coach.
No. Yeah. Mike Markson. No.
Okay, right on, Coach. I can't talk or hear.
Yeah, no.
I can't spell, and I definitely don't know where Arkansas is on a map. I mean, it's the one that looks like a gun, right? No, that's Oklahoma.
We're out there. We're out there. Hey, that's all right. Virginia, y'all are up there. Y'all are all the same up there to us. Yes. West Virginia, you know how it goes. We're not too worried about it.
Exactly, Coach. I think I probably had some kin that came from Arkansas after the Dust Bowl or whatever. Are you from there? How did your family get out there?
I'm from here.
So did your people come there like during the Dust Bowl and all that? And the
Great I have no idea about all that.
You got there.
Hey, I don't go back that far. I didn't get on Ancestry.com or anything.
Oh, you haven't, man?
No.
They said I was from the Sombrero Galaxy, man. I'm alien.
I'm not going out there.
Yeah, Coach. So I'm gonna put your screen up here, Coach, and I'm gonna take my face off of here because I think I done gained about 30 pounds. And I'll keep my audio on. If any questions come up, I'll put them up here and I'll holler, Coach.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and roll right here. Again, we're gonna talk about gap schemes. Got a couple power cut-ups, got a couple duo cut-ups right here. And give me just a second to fix this right here. Let me go to this. Here we go. All right, here we go right here. Sorry, I had to fix that real quick. All right, we're ready to roll now. All right, here we go. Right here, we'll just start off with some calls right here, go through some plays. We got duos starting up right here, so we'll go ahead and roll with it. But we run a multitude of fronts. We run a multitude of stuff here. We're going to run pretty much every run game, every gap scheme, every zone. We are primarily a wide zone team, inside zone team, and then we're going to get to duo, counter, then power, pin and pull, kind of that framework with us. I think last year we ran wide zone 8 times a game, inside zone probably 7 times a game. Then we went to inside zone. Then we went to duo and went that route with it. So definitely got it rolling.
Yeah, Coach, I'm coming back on here because y'all got that quarterback in the pistol, right? The tailback's right behind him?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
I got to talk to y'all about this. I want to see it.
Okay. All right. Well, right here, we're going to go ahead and trade right here. So we should end up right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make the A right here. We're going to have what we call a tough. We're a little different on our duo than most people, where we are going to have our fullback right here interlocked with the tackle. We're going to go out right here with the tight end. We're going to now take our full, instead of that being the fullback blocking that buff, we're going to take the fullback and the tackle and go right here to this backer here.
I mean, it ends up being the same thing. I mean,
it ends up being the exact same thing. It's an easier block to meet with the tight end and tackle than it is the fullback tackle block is a lot easier, and you get the insert by right there by your wide receiver, which
Hold on. Y'all are bringing the guy in there too, man. Y'all bringing more people to the party.
We're bringing more people into the party right here.
I got to see this, man. I want to see this from the beginning.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
But right here, you can see with the A block right here, I'd like to see our center now. He's going to go ahead and step instead of going same foot, same shoulder with that zero nose. I'd like to see him just take that little flat step to the right there, then load up with that high knee right there on the left knee. Guard does a really good job taking over the block, trying to ride it. If we get in a double team this heavy, we're not like that A block you see right there. We're not going to try and come off on this backer. We're going to stay on that double team. If he makes the play, he's making it 4 to 5 yards deep. I tell our guys, let me go back right there. I tell our guys all the time, I'm not worried about a linebacker making the play at 4 or 5 yards. I mean, stay on the double, The down guys are the ones that cause they're the ones that cause tackle for loss. We're mainly watching for the run through. We'll ride the double to the linebacker. And so right here, you can see that. I tell them all the time, do not come off on that backer until you're able to shake hands with him. That's a big part of it to me. Just like if you're shaking hands, you don't want to look weird in the street shaking hands with somebody reaching way out or doing it right next to your body. It's just casual. Whenever you reach that hand out to shake hands with him, that's when you're coming off for the linebacker right there. Now you can see the fullback right here. We'll go to the tough block. We call it a tough tackle and fullback. But you can see the tackle. He knows he can foot fire, get down into that B gap. I'd like to see him take a little shorter first step right there. But he knows he can get down into that B gap heavy right there for that backer in case that guy pinches, slants hard, makes a hard slant, anything like that, and the backer plays over the top. But he knows he's selling out to B. Fullback is trying to drive to inside shoulder. He's trying to dig out, and the tackle is trying to drive to inside shoulder unless that backer plugs, and then we'll pin him. But we're trying to tell that
corner. That's the corner. That's the corner fitting in the. He's folding over in there, fitting in on that, making that play.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
If that tight end runs a wheel route off of play action, he's gonna be by himself.
It's the beauty of doing it with the fullback aligned inside there. There's a lot of play action you can have with sending the receiver vertical, delaying the tight end right there. There's some different things you have instead of having the tight end fullback, having the fullback wing, which we run it both ways. But now so we do it both, but it really helps. I like it like this because most people don't see it, and it makes them have to fit inside the C. Instead of most safeties want to fit the C gap, most corners want to fit the C gap. This makes them have to fit A or B gap now. This messes with their fits a little bit. And
you got a lot of gaps right there. I mean, it's a bunch set. That's a bunch set.
It ends up being a bunch, and we're gonna you can see it right here. We're gonna line up in doubles bunch and motion 2 trips right here. So you can see right here, we're gonna line up doubles bunch, motion 2 trips. Again, right here, I don't like the guard piercing the line right here. I'd like to see that guard on that A block again come flat right there with first step. Then if he has to pierce and get vertical with the slant, he's able to pick it up. But right here, we get vertical right off the bat, and it kind of hurts us on picking up the slant, but it's an excellent job of picking up all the movement. You tell we got a different fullback now in there. The other one was lined on the line. I mean, now it's just same 2 guys, just flip the formation on them. But now it's the same deal. He's going to dig his head to inside. This is the difference right here. This is what I was talking about. The fullback's got to get his head to that inside shoulder. It goes back to old school ISO rules out of the eye. If you're digging at him to the inside shoulder, primarily he's going to jump outside and give you that gap. Well, since we're on his outside shoulder, the safety gets to fit C gap where he wants to fit. If we're inside here, that safety now cannot fit that gap. He's not used to fitting the B gap. He's not used to fitting down in here, and he wants to stay out there. So the nice thing is when you dig it out, and I got a cut up here coming up of where we do dig it out. Let me make sure. There we go. And you can see it a little better. But you can see that safety able to fit us, whereas if we'll stay inside out at fullback, there's our crease. Okay, I think here's a good one right here. We've got a tough, an A, and a double backside now. Now, really good right here on the A. I like where we're at. I like the center step a lot better right here on the A with that 0 nose. He steps flat right there, just that little timey step, settle and surge right there. I love the tackle on the back side of the double. He's going to go ahead with that 4-eye. We're going to go ahead right now, and I'll be honest, this year we are going to the playing long and stuff. We have gone to that. I heard about it last year when I watched Coach Peters, Coach Callahan talk about the Cool Clinic last year, and now I'm going to it again.
Why is that? Because it's Jim McNally?
Well, no, really and truly last year I saw it and I loved it. I loved the theory of it. I loved the science behind why and playing long, getting the hands out there, getting hands on them. We already were doing it in pass pro. We were already doing it in pass pro, punching with the outside arm first, pillar in right there and that kind of deal. And then in the run game, when I saw them start talking about it, I went back, me and Bill, Coach Best, me and him started talking about it. And we're like, go back and watch your best players over the years. They were doing it naturally. Your best players were already doing it naturally. They were already getting long, especially on zone and things like that. They were already getting that hand out there and fending them off. I used to have a picture on my computer of two tigers fighting. And if you watch two tigers fight, they've got one hand, and hockey players are the same way. They've got one hand out in front of them sitting there pillaring, and the other one's just sitting there waylaying on the guy. It's the same exact deal. They've got this hand already out there, turned out, locked out, thumbs right there, and now they're bringing that backside hand. Same thing when you watch two hockey players fight and play in there. So I loved it, but I had 6 seniors. I had guys who I'd been coaching for 4, 5, 6 years, and I didn't see that clinic until really May and June, and I didn't feel comfortable changing what I'd been teaching those guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I didn't feel comfortable in a month and a half of saying, hey, we're going to flip the script of what we've done. Some of you guys have won 4 conference championships and had a record of 44-2 or whatever it was, 42-2 in conference. I mean, I don't want to change that. You understand what I'm saying? Now this year I've had plenty of time. I got a bunch of new guys. So we flipped it this spring. We went to it totally this spring. So you're going to see us right here. I'll go back to this tie copy right here. You'll see us right here this year. We're going to take that gallop right there, but he's bringing that hand, and he's going to be long right there now. That tackle is. He's going to come up there long with that arm, whereas now last year we were playing a little tighter with our hands. We're going to start with the playing long and go into that. But I love the double right here, how heavy we are on the 4-eye. We're protecting anything with the fan backside. But here, going back, here's your tackle. Here's your tough right here. You can see the fullback burying the head inside. I love the tight end lateral down. I'd like to see him stay a little more square. But, again, he's trying to fight heavy inside, keep ripping the backside arm. Same block right here. This year you're going to see us, instead of that tight end, take that right hand. He's going right now long. He's going to be going long right into that inside shoulder this year, so it's going to be a little different. But you can watch the tackle be able to take his lateral down because he's playing that 4-eye. Watch the defender's head right here. The minute we turn their shoulders, we win. I tell guys all the time, staying square, the first guy to turn his shoulders loses. If it's us or it's them, the first man to turn his shoulders is going to lose the battle. And so we've got to get their shoulders turned. Well, that tackle turns his shoulder. Our fullback, he's now made our fullback's job extremely easy. He's now made his job extremely easy. That linebacker can't fit it right. Back does a great job right here. We're under center right here. We were in the pistol a minute ago. We're under center here. Back does a great job aiming right at the play side double team right there in the B gap. Presses it, sticks the foot right there.
Yeah, I can see why y'all win.
It's a big part of it.
I wouldn't want to play against this.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, Troy. A lot of defenses are designed anymore to stop the spread.
Yeah.
A lot of defenses are designed to stop 20 personnel.
Hey, Coach, can you get the can you give me a sideline?
Yeah,
I just want to see how deep y'all put y'all's quarterback, because we do this. We pretty much run the I formation out of the gun, and we put the fullback next to the quarterback. But I mean, we can move them around like y'all are doing. But everybody's always like, Troy, your tailback's too deep. So I'm looking like so that's 2 yards and then 3. So his heels are at 5.
Yeah, quarterback's heels are at 5. The running back's going to be 8.
Yeah,
he's going to be at 8. And it's not a lot different being in the eye. I mean,
you're
running ISO out of the eye. I mean,
yeah, we do. We run the ISO.
I hate to say, I'm not saying duo is old school ISO, but it's close to. You're getting a double team on an A gap player right there. I know it's not.
It's power no pull. Power no pull to me.
Yeah, I've run both, so I mean I know it's not the same, but I'm just saying it's still out of the eye. We don't line the fullback up in the backfield. We're going to put him up here on the line of scrimmage, and I'm not calling that man a sniffer. He plays the most physical position on the field to me. I cannot rightly call a grown man and recruit a man to come in and play that position.
I mean, he's a football there. I mean, is the fullback and tight end is the same, all right? I mean,
to us, they're the exact same. That position, that position is the exact same to us. But
I love this.
Right here, we're going to run an open end duo, and we're going to run an open end duo right here. And we're still bringing the receiver in. You can see him come in. I'll go back to the wide right here. It's getting to the same formation we were just in. It's just now you're doing it with a tight end. He becomes tight end. He becomes the fullback is all we're doing right there. It's still running it to a tight end. It's still just like having the tight end in there. but now we're just doing it with him off the ball.
So I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything, but I mean, this is y'all's play. This is what y'all hang y'all's hat on, is this duo, right?
We're going to hang our hat on inside and wide zone. Duo's our third play we're going to get to.
Okay, so what is y'all's counter to wide zone, inside zone, and duo then? Because I mean,
counter.
Is it counter with who? The guard and the H?
We're going to run CF. Let me go to this real quick.
Okay, I'm sorry because I'm intrigued.
You're great. You're great.
I'm intrigued with not pulling people.
You're great. Now we're going to pull people.
I asked Coach McNally, why do you pull
people? Can you see my board behind me here?
Yeah.
Well, that's Jerry Kramer and Fuzzy Thurston. And
Packer sweep.
Yeah, we're going to pull people. I grew up playing in the wing tee. And so, I mean, I'm all about pulling people. And so we're definitely going to do that. I'm going to come back to this duo right here. Let me get to this real quick and get this up. Okay. There's base run game stats right here, okay? But you were asked kind of what we run right here. I don't know what's wrong over here. The words didn't come out. But
it don't matter, Coach. I ain't technical. I see the counter is the fourth thing up there.
Yeah, counter's going to be the fourth thing you can see. Yards per carry, we're going to run it we're going to run it 4 times. Q counter, we're in Q counter Wildcat, whether it's Wildcat, getting in the Wildcat, we'll get in the Wildcat 1st and 10 on the 50. I mean, we're not going to make you defend all 11. If you can't defend it, we're going to keep doing it.
They're going to have to defend 4 downs against y'all. I know
Exactly. So, I mean, you can see right here, power last year was 3 times a game. 3.5 times a game, but we still average 4 yards or almost 5 yards a carry on it. I don't think anymore. I think power is a play where it's hard to get out there and run it 20 to 25 times a game, except for North Dakota State. They can do it. But except for people like that, I think it's something to where teams are preparing for it. Right here's the biggest thing to me. We're talking about staying on down linemen. Right here's what matters in the run game. You can see it right here. I mean, tackles for loss, 3.58. I mean, that's where you got to be. I mean, one of these days I'm going to get up here, where I'm first. I want to be first in the nation in that. If we're there, we're going to run for a bunch of yards. That's a big part of it to me. But let's go right here. You're asking about kind of what we run. This is base zone run game stuff right here. Okay, this is all of our zone run game. It's got the RPOs in there. And I encourage any young coaches out there that are listening, any young coaches that are starting out. When I was young, I had a ton of plays in my head. I didn't have them wrote down. I encourage everybody, have your zone game. We don't carry all this into one game. That'd be crazy. But we have certain things that we have that all these are tagged differently. These are called differently, but these are the principles, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's it. That's everything right there.
That's the zone. That's the zone stuff.
Okay. Now here comes your power and counters.
Now here's the power and counter stuff right here. You've got your 2-back power, you've got your 1-back power, you've got your misdirection power right here, you've got your power reads, all the fancy powers, and then you've got your counter stuff right here. You were asking about counter. We're going to go GF, we're going to go CF, we're going to go GT, we're going to go GF with the jet sweeps, that kind of stuff. So we're going to run. To me, if my center is a better puller than a guard, and I have better zone guards, I'm going to pull the center. Miscellaneous run games.
Even against an odd front?
Do what?
Even against an odd front?
Not against an odd. Against an odd, I'm going to go ahead and pull the guard. But if you get 4 down, I'm going to pull the center some. You know what I mean? Especially when I get that 3 backside or something like that. But you can see this is miscellaneous. We're going to run the pin and pull. We're going to run a couple of options here and there. Not much option. We're not big into that. We're going to run more. I
want to ask you this, Coach, because when we call our plays, we're old school, man. It's like 26 power, 26 counter. I'm not asking you for the exact terminology, but what could be a way? Is it game planned that, hey, the center's going to pull this week on an even front, or is there a tag in there?
No, he just our center will get up there if it's an even front and he sees something and I give him the okay that week. And I tell him, hey, let's go ahead. If he feels good about it, it might be a game time deal where I'll just say, hey, let's make this adjustment. He'll get up on the line and he'll make a certain call, whether it's not you, me, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's no differentiation between the center pulling and the guard pulling. The differentiation is between the tackle and the H. Who's
the differentiate. Yes, the difference for us is going to be the H or the T. We're going to tag that. We'll call that from the sideline.
Okay.
But as far as the center, that's really on. We don't have a specific play call where it's dictating center pull here. Now we have in the past, but now it's more so, hey, center make a U call and roll with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of the big thing there is where he does that more himself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, I think that goes back to trusting your players. You got to give them ownership. You got to, and I think, and again, like I said, I mean, you're looking just on this picture, 6-year senior, 6-year senior, 5th-year junior, 4th-year junior, 5th-year senior, 5th-year senior. I'm going to give those guys ownership. Those guys have been with me forever.
I mean, anybody wants to talk junk about D2 football, dude, this team right here, they could go and beat 1AA teams. Dude, these guys, I wouldn't want to play against these dudes.
Hey,
this is coming
Troy,
right at you right now.
In our region, here's last year in the playoffs in our region. You take 7 teams in Division II. There's 4 regions. You take 7 teams. You had Fair State, who won it, we know what they are. You had Grand Valley State. You had Northwest Missouri State. You had Pitt State. You had us, and you had Davenport. At one time, we had 7 out of the top 13 in the AFCA top 25 poll. 7 of them were from our region.
How many of them do this? How many of them pound the ball like this?
There's quite a few of them that do it. There's quite a few of them that line up, and they're going to run the football. That's a big thing. You better be able to stop the run and make them get. Now, like Ferris lines up, and they're going to run the ball. They don't line up like this and do it. Ferris does it with misdirection and things like that, and they do it with the reads and the sweeps, and they still run some duo stuff, and they still do a lot of things. So it's how you run the ball. You know what I mean? And they do it a different way. But let's go back.
I want to see, before you get done today, I want to see your backfield action on your counter.
Okay. All right, right here. Let's go with a duo right here. We're going to have a B right here. You can see the B, the guard right here. He's stepping out a little bit, but he knows right now I'm not getting gap run through. He feels solid. He's not getting a slant right here. I'm okay with him not taking the old settle and then surge to a loose 3 because we're trying. If that guy pins here, we know we're going to dig out right here, and that's now going to be our crease right there. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm okay with what we're doing right here at guard instead of stepping down inside on the settle. I'm okay with him going same foot, same shoulder right here to take it over because that tackle is coming down right now. He's not worried with a guy this loose. Normally we would have a B alert trio, which tells these 3, hey, we possibly would have those 3, and I'll get to that in just a second. But right now, that guy that loose, he knows he ain't crossing face. He ain't worried about it. That guy will not get under us right there. The fullback will dig him out. So that tackle is going to come down heavy with that gallop step. We're going to chip near knee or chip the hip right there. We're going to knock the hip in, and now we're going to pin it right there. But again, you can see we're going to make that safety come in and make the tackle. We're going to make that safety have to do it. Great patience. We talked about the A block, staying on it. You can see the guard, same foot, same shoulder. Right here, the right guard, great patience. We only come off on that backer. He doesn't even get touched, but he ain't making the play. I don't care. We rolled the nose guard up out. I'm good with it. Biggest thing, again, D lineman called more tackles for losses than linebackers. Okay, now we go back to traditional way right here. You can see we got the fullback wing now. Now you got tight end wing. You got the fullback a little wider, just a different look at it. But we knew we were going to get a bunch of 7 techniques. So when you're getting a bunch of 7s, it's fine to do this because you can get the tight end to dig out a 7 and get the fullback up. You start seeing a bunch of 5s, you got to line that guy up inside to me. That's just an easier block right there on the tight end. But now, and you can see tight end, he's going to keep digging. I'd like to see him even keep fighting more. Tackle on the B right here. Pretty good job right here by our guard. Now he's going to take that inside step because the linebacker he's working to is inside, and now we're just going to stay tight right there to it. But again, just the traditional way of running duo, make that backer get over the top. Fullback's not going to panic. If that guy jumps way outside, who cares? Let him run out there, stay tight to the line of scrimmage, stay tight to the fullback, stay tight to the tight end. Until that guy makes you come off 100%, you can shake hands with him. All right, now we're going to have a double and a single right here. Here's the lateral down. We're going to use the lateral down right here on this man block by the tight end. It's a lot like, to me, if you run power, you can run duo. If you run duo, you can run power because the blocks are essentially the same. Same thing with counter. You're running the same block. Right here's a great job by our right guard with the foot fire. He's not gaining any ground. He's not piercing the zone. He's just sitting there piercing the gap. He's just sitting there right now, just foot firing, waiting to see what that 3 technique's going to do, or that backer, because he's right now, pre-snap, he's in a bind. One of those two's coming here. He knows that. Let's just wait and see which one's coming to me right here. This guard, he's not worried about it. He's going to go high knee right now. No need for him to foot fire right there. Go to it right now on the foot fire, or go to it right now on the high knee. Let's get that gap expanded right off the bat right here. Tight end, I love what he does on the lateral down with the first step. I'd like to see the second step be a little bit smaller where he doesn't cross over, but he does a great job of keep digging inside. I'd like to see his backside arm a little lower. I tell him, try to take your backside arm, get your elbow to your crotch, and bring it up through his mid chest right there, almost like what they're teaching on the clog right there, where they're teaching bring that hand up and then drive your shoulder or drive your elbow straight through on that. When you're the backside guy, you're taking that hand from low to high, lifting, coming up with that palm up and taking it, and then taking your elbow straight to his midsection right there. But you can see tight end does a great job of keep getting inside, fight to get inside, back, great patience by our back. Great patience by our back right here. He's not in a hurry. It's duo. You know how it is. Step on their toes, step on their toes, step on their toes. There's a hole. Boom. Great explosion getting out of there.
What team did y'all play against that is a good program where y'all really you were pretty proud of how your team ran the ball? Because I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch y'all. I've already got you pulled up on YouTube. Just what's the team, a good program that y'all played with?
It would definitely be Harding. Harding's a great one. They have tremendous respect for their defense, what they do over there. I think we had 1 3rd and long this year versus them. I think we had maybe 2 or 3 3rd and mediums, but for the most part, we stayed in front of the sticks. Usually they give up about 100 yards a game rushing or less. I think we went for like 160 or 150 versus them. Which that's a team like that. I know that's well below our average, but a team like that, that's really, really good. They would be a big one right there.
It's good, Coach. I love what y'all do, man. I'm an idiot, Coach.
Yeah. It's again right here. Now we're in 11 personnel. We just started off in trips right here. Started off in nub trips. Now we're going to motion over with the receiver, get him over there now. Now we're going to get the lateral.
They're in cover zero. They're in cover zero, man. It's a 4-3 box. They got 3 guys.
I don't even know what 2-eye safeties look like.
No.
I see people run the ball with 2-eye safety, and I'm like, crap, everybody can do that, I would think. You better be able to.
This is freaking fun here because you can see how these secondary players play in run support because you're taking care of the down guys.
Well, here's the biggest thing. You watch this lateral down right here. This is a good block, but watch if it's great. Watch if he gets the head, if he doesn't hesitate right there. And this guy's a great one. This is our senior. He went to camp this year with the Falcons. Hunter Spode did a great job for us and was a 3-year starter. And I'm nitpicking right here as a coach. I know that. And he knows that. He knows I love him. But right here, if he gets his head inside, our back is hitting that gap right there. And that safety will not fit that because our back will be there to get him to take that step. And then our back will stick it just like he did earlier. And you're fixing to see it here in just a second when he does it again. Now, this is a great block. He washes him down. He gets on the outside shoulder, washes him down. Great run by our back. Great job by our receiver. To run, and Troy, to be able to do this right there, another senior. That was another senior for us last year, Justin Dean. your receivers got to be selfless. I mean, they got to be able to fit up in there. They got to be able to block.
They're a tight end, man.
I mean, if you're a great running team, you got great blocking receivers. And that's a
one-on-one right there, man. If that guy misses that tackle, dude, he's banging his head on the goalpost.
And our back went for 1,700 yards. He made a lot of them miss them. So now right here, now watch us force it inside. Keep forcing inside. Boom. Watch the tight end's head. Keep getting inside. Tackle and guard. Keep getting inside. Keep fighting to get inside. Keep fighting to get inside. Instead of just trying to drive vertically, I think too many people get caught up in you got to drive vertically. You got to drive this. It goes back to eventually you got to get on an edge. You got to deflect their momentum. You got to deflect them one way or another, right or left, inside or out. You're very seldom are you just going to line up and drive a good D lineman straight back. I don't care if you have a double team or not. The teams you have to beat, you've got to knock them one way or the other. Go back, I don't know how long ago it was. I heard Coach Strollo talk at the Cool Clinic probably 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was. I think it was at Elon at the time, so I don't know how long ago that was. But hearing him talk about torquing and that kind of deal, it's the same thing. You got to be able to torque guys. You got to be able to move your hand, get them up under, and get under people and move them sideways. I'm not a physics guy. I probably would fail the ACT test on if two trains were colliding, which one's going to make it go the other way. But I do know the one that hits on an edge and hits with lower leverage is going to knock that other one off the track. He might not knock him backwards, but he's going to knock him off the track. And so you can see by us steadily digging out inside, it allows our back to get vertical. And that safety now, he's got to make a play. He doesn't want to make it 6 yards. And this one I love. I mean, you asked what we're hanging our hat on in certain situations.
Yeah.
If it becomes short yardage, we're getting a duo. I can promise you that. And so right here, we're now going to go. You watch the center right here on the A block. Center's got an A right here. He does a great job. He's not worried about that linebacker. We're not going to get the ball. Our back is not fixing to bend this ball all the way back here. He knows that because that linebacker's sitting right there. But he knows I got to protect this guy first. I got to protect that nose guard first. Our guard, I'd like to see him flat-footed a little bit. I'd like to see him foot fire instead of go high knee right there. But he does a great job of getting down there once he does get the high knee, getting the high knee to the midsection of the guy. And our center does an excellent job of just picking up the plugging backer. They know we're on the -1. They know the backers are plugging. Same thing, you can see the tackle. The tackle knows, hey, I'm not slamming back right here. I'm not coming back trying to slam back on this guy. I know I've got a linebacker who's fixing to plug gap on short yardage. I mean, that's a great run of getting the ball out of the end zone.
Oh yeah. On the first play that you showed, did the number one guy in the bunch, did he insert inside?
He did. And right here, we're telling him when you insert, you can insert here if you want to. But if your easiest release is here, take it. And I guarantee you this guy's done it for about 3 years for us right here. When he sees that tight 9, he's thinking that guy's coming there and that guy's coming. And you can see this corner coming off the edge right here. So he's thinking that 9 technique is crossing face. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
So he's going to take easiest release to get to first threat. It's just secondary run support. It's no different than a wide zone when you're going into crack with a receiver from outside. He's on secondary run support. It's the exact same rule right there on duo. It's just secondary run support is all that is.
So who did you get it from with the tight end blocking out? Did you come up with that, or did you see someone else doing it like that?
We kind of came up with it here on our own out of trips. Me and Coach Derby, Jay Derby, he's our OC. He's been here with Coach Knight for all 25 years. Of course, I've been with him all the time. And he does a great job of coming up with stuff. Me and him were talking about it. And we watched South Dakota State would have been, golly, the year their freshman quarterback got hurt in the national championship game. I can't remember what year that was, but 4 or 5 years ago, whenever that was, 3 years ago, whatever it was. I think it was 19. We were watching them, and they did some of this out of Tripp's bunch. They were getting in Troy. That's all this is Tripp's bunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just where we got tight splits doing it. And so they were doing it with that fullback. And we're like, man, we like that a lot better than the tight end wing, than having to work that tight end block so hard, because this right here is a lot easier for him to cut out than it is to get him all the way down in there to cut it out. Because now that cat is used to fitting that block on the tight end wing duo. He's not used to fitting, well, let me draw that line. He's not used to fitting in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, those 5 techniques ain't used to
no,
basically a wing back blocking down on them. Like,
no, they're not used to a wing back trying to cut them out. I mean, they're not used to that at all, and especially a 240-pound guy. I mean, they might be used to a slot or somebody littler trying to do it, but they're not used to a 240-pound, 250-pound fullback trying to do that.
There's some carnage in there. There's some carnage. There's some bodies.
Nice. I mean, and it's a lot of dudes just trying to finish blocks. That's a big part of it. But that's kind of duo right there. Let me go to our power stuff here. Go through some of the combination blocks on power. Any questions duo-wise? Anybody got anything there?
Steve Saunier, who's the O-line coach at West Florida, said playing long equals playing strong. I'm sure he's watching. And I know that.
I mean, it is.
I know my friend Mike Marita, who's the O-line coach at Lehigh and was at Virginia Union and Vanderbilt and Albany State, he loves this. I know he's going to watch it. If he's not watching it right now, I texted him.
Well,
what O-line coach doesn't like it? I mean, Are you really an O-line coach if you don't?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with this. And now, I mean, and I get it. Sometimes the spread guys and some of the stuff with the spread, they're not game planning near as much in the run game, and you're not accounting for near as many bodies and that kind of deal. And that does make it easy Monday through Friday. This definitely, the thing I love about this, and of course, like I said, all the offenses I grew up in, I mean, Danny Ford was always going to run the football. Mike Bender was always going to run the football. Houston Nutt was always going to run the football. I mean, since I've been here, we've had numerous, Coach Knight, we're going to run the football. We have had numerous 1,000-yard running backs. I mean, even before I got here, they were doing it. I mean, when he was at Delta State, they were doing it. So, I mean, he was at UTEP with David Lee, they were doing it. So, I mean, been doing it. He's been running the ball for quite some time.
Rewind that. I want to see the sideline, and when that guy motions out, I mean, that outside backer, because they're playing corner over, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Like, he don't even move. Like,
no, they know we're running.
He probably would have been uncovered, man, if he would have went out there further.
They know we're running it. Hey, we get down there on the one, they know we're running it. We're not batting the eye about that. All right. Right here, I mean, there's something to be said for that. You get down there in 22 personnel, you know what I mean? You're fitting him up in there. You're fitting that receiver in there. It's they know what's coming. It's just, what are you running out of it? I mean, out of this same formation, are you seeing counter? Are you seeing duo? Are you seeing power? Are you seeing wide zone? Are you seeing split zone? Are you seeing straight up inside zone? What you get what I'm saying? I mean, are you going to see pin and pull right here to the weak side? I mean, what are you going to see? That's the whole.
And y'all run the ball at the quarterback? Y'all run the ball with the quarterback out of the pistol like that?
We don't run it out of the pistol with the quarterback. We'll get in wildcat. And we'll line up right here, and I'll show you some of that before I get off.
Because I'm just asking because, I mean, it ain't no mystery who's running the ball. I mean, I guess y'all bootleg. Y'all play action.
We'll run like in this game right here.
Boom.
We're gonna throw the nakeds. We're gonna throw the boots. We're gonna throw the power passes. We're gonna do the play action stuff. We're gonna do a lot of that. That's the beauty of it. I mean, and that's the great part of it. You get these guys, like you were saying, the corner making the play earlier. I mean, you get them guys down in the box, and all of a sudden, you got a lot of stuff that can happen good for you. But it all starts with the run game. But right here, we're going to have a B right here, and then we're going to have an alert trio, which is telling these three, hey, us three now have got to work 1, 2 to 3 right here on power right here. So now that alert trio, now we're going to foot fire. Now we're going to foot fire, and we're going to work out right here. So you can see the guard. He's just going to foot fire to read that. He's not trying to flat step, get high knee up in here, or anything like that. We're trying to foot fire, see what's going on. Our tackle sees the slant right here off his foot fire. Boom. You can see his eyes go instantly right now, because we know this is a heavy slanting team. We know they're slanting a ton. And he knows I'm not getting immediate run through, because the only guy I can run through is this backer. This one over here is not fixing to beat me into that B gap because of where he's at with his stack alignment right here. And you can see him just take it over right there. And again, we're on the 1. If we were on the 2, I'd like for that tackle to be heavier to the inside a little bit. I mean, if we're on the open field, be a little bit heavier inside. But we're out here on the 2, the 1 yard line. Man, let's get that C gap cleaned up. When that guy penetrates, take him. Make the linebacker bow. Watch the middle stack backer have to just barely get over the top or plug right there. See how late he is plugging. We're going to pick that up with the tackle just chipping him. We're going to make everybody else bow backside at least a yard or 2. It goes back hearing Bloomgren talk down at Rice. They're trying to do the same thing right there, to where they're sitting there. They're on the 1. They're not real worried about getting up to linebackers. Knock the D lineman back into the linebackers. Make them bow. You need 1 yard. You know how it goes. Right here, now we got B alert trio. Now we're not going to switch this. Normally we would switch this. If we get a 3 right here, if we get a 3 and a 5, this center's going to alert switch to that tackle, which is telling that tackle, hey, get ready for the TR, the RT, any kind of twist or any kind of thing like that. You understand what I'm saying there? But we're not gonna switch this, because our center knows there's weak pressure, and look where the backside linebacker is. For them to twist, 35 is going to have to be in here, because somebody's got to get to that A gap right now. You understand what I'm saying there? So we're looking at defensive alignment right there. Again, we've got the trio, the B alert trio. Tackle does a great job. Here's the foot fire by the tackle. Now, a little different in the open field. You can see he doesn't bury up with that 7 like he did last time. Now he's going to absorb it. We're going to stay flat on the line of scrimmage. Boom. We're going to read their slant, take the slant, and now our tight end ends up picking up the slanting. Center does a great job. Center steps with play side foot first. I know a lot of people think that's crazy. We're running power. You got to step back door to replace this guy, but he knows there's outside pressure. He sees that weak pressure. He knows this guy is coming. The nose is coming to him right now. If I were to step right here, or I step here, I'm going to get beat right now. I'm okay. Go ahead and take that foot right now and catch him with your right arm. So now I can just wall him out backside, if that makes sense. You can see that little stutter step he takes. He's not taking a big play side step. Just that little settle and surge right there, so he can pick up that slant. And now it just becomes a crab right there, just driving that guy to take him deep. Our tight end ends up off the trio picking up the looper 235. Our tight end, in essence, blocks 2 right there with 58 and 35, does a great job. Guard gets over there for the kick out. Fullback, this is, again, why we don't put him deep in the eye. If I'm in the eye or if I'm in the backfield, I know there's sometimes you love it, but if I'm back here and this guy's hard charging at me on power, he ends up meeting me here. Well, now, and it's a heck of a collision. Worried about losing your player for concussion or anything else. You know how it is. This way, now I'm opening, taking away inside. I'm meeting that guy a lot more out here now. I'd like to see him with his head up there. But I'm meeting that guy wider when he is blitzing off that edge. Back, again, back's going to aim right there at tackle. We're running more of a C-gap power than an A-gap power. Our back's aiming right here at the butt crack of that tackle. And then he's looking to bang it. If that backer would have fit tight and we would have logged, great, we're going to bounce it right out there. But now the backer fits wide, guard's tight enough, guard gets the kick. We're going to fit right inside there, and the back does a great job of setting up the backer. You can see that aim point. I mean, right now, if you're playing linebacker, are we running tight zone right here, or are we running power? I mean, if you're keying our back, watch his back, watch his track. Or I say tight zone, more mid zone. If we're running mid zone right there, that looks a lot the same, mid zone or power right there. You see what I'm getting at? Instead of being the A-gap power. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, man, it's just The running back's running the ball, and there's a massive humanity.
Yeah.
And you better be gap sound, and you better not be getting blown off the ball, or y'all are going to run it all day.
I mean, you got to play physical. That's the thing.
Good luck.
We want to be physical, and we want to play physical, and we want them to be physical. And that's a deal, and that's the beauty of it. This team here, I mean, again, you can see the trio right here. We're going to have a B alert trio right there. Same deal. Tackle, guard, and tackle are going to foot fire. Tight end, I'd like to see him stay more square. He gets turned a little bit, but he does a great job of knocking, carrying. Watch him stay. So many guys want to leave right there. Don't leave yet. That D lineman's still sitting there, and all he's going to do is take that tackle and throw him inside, and now we're going to be left hung out to dry with the guy sitting there in the gap. You got to stay patience to the linebackers, make them come to you. That little extra shove right there gives our tackle the time to get the leverage he needs on that guy and gets us up to the linebacker. I mean, linebacker's going to come to you. You don't have to go to him. Secure the down guys first. But great job right there by the tight end. Really love how he handled that trio and absorbing the backer as he got to him right there. Okay, now we got a B alert swipe right here with it. Same type deal. Now we're in that trips bunch look again that we were running duo out of earlier, and probably the first cut up. Now we're just in trips bunch running power here. So essentially the same type thing. But tackle does a great job. He's flat. He's foot fire. Thing I like, he doesn't force to take this guy inside. That guy never hits his outside shoulder, so he's not going to go ahead and take him. You see what I'm saying right there?
Is that a call? Because now the number 3 man, the fullback, ain't kicking. Now he's blocking down. So is that did y'all make a different call?
We made a different call. We tagged a different call right there.
Y'all are blocking it front side like you do duo, and then you're just wrapping the backside guard.
Yep. We're getting 2 up in there, double power. But like I said, same receiver being selfless up in there.
He's going up in there.
Yeah. If you're going to run the football, you got to have selfless receivers. And, I mean, Coach Spencer Knight, he does a great job of getting those guys to buy into it and doing a great job there with it. But you can see right here, we now watch the fullback. He doesn't stay on that guy. He buries up. He blocks it more like duo.
What team is that right there?
He buries it inside, whereas on power, I want to keep my head middle to outside.
What team is that right there?
That is East Central Oklahoma. They had a heck of a defense this year.
I mean, 24 is lighting the britches, but that dude knows how to fit the run, man.
Yeah, that dude was one of the best linebackers in the league.
East Central Oklahoma?
East Central Oklahoma, or East, I'm sorry. Yeah, East Central, yes. Yeah. That's East Central. That dude right there, he was a heck of a linebacker. He wasn't very big, but he could fly. And that's one thing you got to be able to, in our league, we're going to face some linebackers that can run. I mean, most teams are taking DBs, big safeties, putting them down at linebacker. But right here, you can see the swipe right there, the B alert swipe. I'd like to see that fullback stay more head up right there. Okay, here it is, the trips bunch look again. And some of these aren't great, and that's why I put them in here. Now you see the tackle right here. You can see our tackle right here. He feels that guy hit him. He's foot firing. He's going flat down the line right here on the B. He feels that DN hit him. He's going to absorb that. He's going to take that arm. He's going to stop the foot fire, and he's going to take more of him and try to pull down with inside arm, lock with outside arm to throw him inside with that fullback staying on. Now, linebacker fit tight. Our guard logged instead of getting inside out, but you can see back's aiming point. Back right there does a great job. If we kick, if that guy fit one step wider, our guard's kicking and our back's going to hit it there. Well, we ended up getting logged. Back does a great job of bouncing it out. Receiver does a great job. Normally, right here, push crack rules, most of them are going to think, hey, I got to go right here. He's the tightest one. Watch him back up at the snap of the ball. Great job of getting off your initial target, going to secondary. That allows us to go get about 4 to 5 more right there. Tight end, again, tight end's just blocking out. That goes back to what we were talking about with the play action, that kind of stuff, how we were running duo. It kind of keeps the duo rules the same right there for him. But backside linebacker, we're not worried about him. He never even crosses face there. Okay. Now we're back.
What team is this? What team is this? What team is this y'all are playing?
This is Northwest Oklahoma. Okay. Now we're going to take the lateral down with the tight end, and now we just got a straight up B call. We got a B with a lateral down right here by our tight end. Fullback's going to be working wide. Again, same deal. This is why we had the fullback up tight. If that guy's truly coming down in there, if that guy's truly blitzing off the edge, our fullback's getting met probably about right there. You know what I'm saying? So we force that edge tighter. By us putting him up there tighter, yes, it probably does hurt power pass a little bit, but it does help in the run game. You understand what I'm saying? Because it gives you a wider gap now. Now you can see the B right here with the tackle. He does a great job. Again, he's not worried about foot firing because he's got a 6 technique. He knows, hey, I don't have to read anything right here. I can go right now. I can go gallop step. I can take it. But here's what I love: the cross shove. So many people say you can't get the outside arm involved. You're going to turn. I heard somebody say it the other day. I don't remember who. If the hips are square, the shoulders can turn. If the hips are right, the shoulders can turn on that when you go to that cross shove right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're torquing. You're torquing the guy.
You're torquing the guy.
You're torquing your lower half.
Yep, his hips are still square the whole time right there. Hips are square, boom. Now I'm going to come off on the linebacker. And I tell them, even if the linebacker is square, one thing on coaching them up on getting up on linebackers, if the linebacker's square right here and he's scraping hard like you saw 24 do earlier, we're going to attack the backside hip. I'm going to let him scrape over the top. I'm going to let him get OTT, and I'm going to kick him out and trust that my back's going to stick a foot in the ground and get vertical behind me. You understand what I'm saying there? Whereas if he's turned sideways, I can go ahead and pick up and pin him back door now. You understand what I'm saying on that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this kid right here, he's just fitting. He's almost playing over the top. I mean, he didn't even go forward. He ain't going downhill.
No, he ain't at all. And I mean, the minute he turns, that tackle now knows I can pin him because he's turned. If he would have stayed square, our tackle's going to stay and our tackle's going to go to this hip because now he's scraping to get OTT right there. So as long as they're turned sideways, we'll get up. If not, we're going to chase backside hip. But again, 9, I'd like to see us a little tighter at guard. And at guard, we're not trying right here. Again, it goes back to, I'd like to see him, I can't remember who I heard talk about it, but come right here. And I'm a big proponent right here. Drop the hands inside, but go flipper with that outside arm, clamp with the inside. So as I'm coming up with that old school flipper. I'm bringing shoulder flipper. My head's out of it at that point, and my hips are coming up through, and I'm clamping with that inside arm right there.
Yeah, because you don't want him to jump inside.
I don't want him jumping inside. I want everything kicked out.
Steve Saunier.
Where are we separating the defense? That's the number one thing. Where are we separating the defense? If we can get them separated, that's what we're trying to do. And usually you can get them separated, get them flowing, then kick them out.
Steve said, great presentation with great coaching points, Coach Shockley.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Steve Saunier.
He's a good one.
He loves it, man.
Sure. Here's a good one on the B right here. Now we got the B. Watch the guard with that A-gap player. If he goes right now and takes a lead step, thinking it's a base block because that guy's a 1, he doesn't touch him. He's falling flat on his face. He can't get up. Watch the little foot fire right here. I'd even like to see him not get high with that second step, be shorter with the second step, but watch the foot fire with the inside. Tackle now knows, hey, I'm flat with 1. I don't want to pierce that line of scrimmage. I want to go flat with a 1 technique. I want to get down there with a 1 technique. Our tight end, we're not worried about. Our tight ends here are great at blocking. I mean, they meet with me. They practice with me a lot, so I know they're going to be able to set an edge right here with that 7 technique. So on that lateral down, I'm not worried about this guy getting in here on us as loose as he is right there. If he was a 5 or a little bit tighter touching the tackle, we would alert trio. Right here, we're not going to alert trio right there. Tackle does a great job again. tack the hip. Our guard, if he takes a lead step, if he goes right here, right now, the old school way of down blocking where you turn, you got an A-gap player, step at him, probably the same way you were taught, same way I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. That's what it was 25, 30 years ago. If he takes that step and this guy slants, he's beat right off the bat. By him flat stepping right there and foot firing, he's able to pick this up. The guard would never pick that up, and we would never get the block we get right there. One thing we do on power is we open up to it. The reason why is the backside blitzer we don't feel like can get there in time. A lot of people reverse out. We're going to open up to it and still get there, and we're still able to get there on it. But you can see the tight end, he keeps trying to dig the inside out right there. Okay. Now we got another B right here. Now we got a B. We don't have an alert because we have a tight 7. No need to trio this right now. So we're not going to trio that. We'll just have a man call by the tight end on the lateral down. He does a great job of staying lateral down, lateral down, lateral down. I'd like to see our guard take that. I tell the guards, you're looking to pull off that skip pull. You're 1, 2 at a 45. Make sure, and I'll harp on it, that second step as it comes around, it's got to be planted at a 45-degree angle where you can get downhill because you got to trust that double team's going to move. So really you're pulling in, even though we're running a wide or power, you're still pulling in the B gap. Well, right here, we get a little wide. You can tell we're on 4th step before we're ready to get downhill, and that's what hurt us right here. If we're at a 45, we're right there, and now our back, I guarantee you, chasing that inside hip is banging that thing right in there. But we get a little wide right here. We still get a good run. We still get a good positive run because our tight end fullback, but that unblocked corner sitting there, whereas if we hit it tight at guard, if we hit it there, 24 is out of the play. Now the only guy who can make that play is this guy getting over there, and he probably doesn't make it, or he makes it for 10 yards. But I think the biggest thing is the foot fire, the stuff that's talked about right now, Coach McNally's talking a ton about. I think that's a thing that a lot of people have got to go back and look at on their gap schemes because it does help you. Even right here, you got to be with a loose 3 technique right now. This guy's probably something's up. That guy's been playing a tight 3 all game. Something's coming. The guard foot fires you barely. Come off late. You don't have to square up plugging backers. Everybody used to always think you got to put your head right down the middle of them. You got to square them up. That guy's running full speed, plugging a gap. If you just get a piece of him on that long arm coming off and you play long right into him, or even right here, you step with that foot of the way you're going right here, boom, he high knees it on that loose 3, and he takes that step, you're going to pick him up and knock him where you want to knock him to. You're going to get there. The whole deal is you don't have to square him up, but by doing that, it allows us to still get a piece of the 3 technique right there on that. Okay, now we got a 9 tech, so we're in a little tackle over set right here, and I'm going to erase that. I'm tired of that thing doing that. So we're in a tackle over set right here. We got our tackle over here and our tight end here. So now they got to keep 2 backside. They got to keep this guy back here to cover that tight end because he is in an eligible set right there. So now we're going to go out with the tackle, and we're going to bring that fullback now. He's going to lead up in there almost like power ISO. You see what I'm saying? I'd like to see the fullback bury his head into that inside half, just like we teach him to on duo, where we can get down inside of that. But still, great run right there.
He corner's covering his guy, ain't he?
Oh, yeah. He's covering.
Well, I don't guess that's a safety.
Well, it was corners over. I'll go back to it.
So it doesn't matter.
Back to it here. Here's your wide. We've got corners over. You got
cover
the safety
0
right here. Yep, it's straight cover 0. We got tackle over. We get in this formation a lot through Wildcat as well. But all right, now we go a little trading tight end fullback here. Now you got an alert switch. This is what we were talking about off that switch call now. Last time we didn't call a switch because the linebacker – I'm going to erase that. Last time we didn't call the switch because that linebacker was out here. Well, we knew the nose guard had to play A-gap, and they were bringing backside pressure. Now you got no backside pressure. Now you got two linebackers sitting in A gap or really mugged right over the A gaps right there. We know now something's coming here. These two have got to do something, and these two are doing something, because these two backers did not all of a sudden line up in a 10 set for their health. Something's coming on right there. You got to see that. You got to be aware of your surroundings. So the center makes a switch call right here to our tackle, telling him, hey, get ready for us two to switch it off right here. You can see the gap hinge right there. He takes a flatter gap hinge than he normally would because of this. And he's able to pick that up, and we're able to pick off that penetrator coming inside right there. Now, here's the backside, and just like we talked about, here's the backside run through by the tackle. Our guard, again, carries. Our guard's going to carry that too. He's going to carry that too, but look at his eyes the whole time. His head is inside the whole time. You can see his head looking inside, looking inside, looking inside. Yes, he crosses over a little bit. Yes, his footwork screwed up a little bit, but does he pick up the linebacker? Yes. Yeah, I mean, we can sit here and harp about 6-inch step, 45-degree step, but where are his hips the whole play? His hips are square. That's what allows him to pick it up, and we're still able to pick up the slanter right there. I'm not sure what they were doing right there on tight end tackle, but it allows us to pick it up. You understand what I'm saying there?
I mean, look at the carnage. Look at the bodies that are on the ground. I mean, it is just all over the field.
It's fun. It's fun. Now,
it is fun.
Now we got a 3-tech with a shade. Now we got a 3-tech and a shade. And that's one thing I'll say when you're running the ball like this, you know, Troy, and you guys out there that run the football a ton in different sets, you're going to see 1,000 different fronts of somebody trying to figure out a way to stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you gotta, and I don't think you can't practice all those. You have to have clear, defined answers. It comes from watching film, and then you have to have clear, defined answers. Like right here, our center knows, man, all of a sudden this cat's playing a shade. Why is he playing a shade? We haven't seen very few teams run a shade, as you know, anymore. I mean, most of them are playing 1 techniques, 2 techniques, things like that, or zeros. Very few run a shade. Well, all of a sudden we show up and see a shade. We're thinking some kind of game's coming. So right here, he's going to make a dirt call, which is just down read it. He's telling that guard, hey, something's coming. Down read it right here. Foot fire. He's telling the tackle, same thing. It's a read. I'd like to see our guard. I'd like to see our guard right here. They shift our backer that we're double teaming to. I know a lot of people say, well, y'all should be blocking down right there with that guard. Well, there's the backer we're double teaming to. We're not worried about this outside pressure because he's so wide. Our center sits there and sees that. Safety's at 7 yards. We're not fixing to account for him. We're able to get up to our double team backer. Our center, it's one thing I'll say, talking about centers on back blocks, things like that. I would like to see the guard step here on his foot fire, on his read it. He doesn't do a great job of the read it. Foot fire right there, don't chase out. He gets a little wanting to kill that 3 technique. You know how it goes. Like I said, not all these are perfect. Here's another dirt. Should be another dirt call right here with a 3. I'd like to see the center choke it right here. He's got to choke it more, and here's why he can choke it more. We got a tight end back here. That tackle is going to help you with the 3. You're not fixing to get hard charge because this tackle's getting help on any kind of slant out. So the tackle knows I can get in here flat to help that 3 on the hard charge. You understand? Now right here, so I can do the same. In essence, this is no different with the center than the tight end tackle backside. The center now knows I'm getting help to this guy from the tackle, just like the tackle knows I'm getting help from the tight end. So our center should choke this right here. He should just open up with that right foot, stab with that left arm right now, and wait for that 3 to come to him instead of going to him right now. I'd like to see him stay up right there. I don't understand what he's trying to do there, but great job by our guard now on the down call. Again, if our guard turns at a 45 and this guy slants over the top, he's beat. You can see our center do it right here, and our guard doesn't do it. And you can watch the 2 differences in different blocks. Center turns sideways, does the old school block, would get beat over the top if that guy's crossing face. Our guard is square. He's able to pick him up. Now, watch him roll his hips right there. Boom. Right there, rolling the hips, bringing the hand low to high. I'd like to see now we're going to get that right hand a little longer right there. We're going to get up and into him, and we're going to lift right there. But does a great job of exploding up with his feet in the ground right there, bringing the feet. Same thing by the left tackle. He's going to be flat. You can see, again, we're not penetrating the line of scrimmage. Everybody says on down blocks, you got to get into the line of scrimmage, get in the line of scrimmage. No, you don't. Line up at level 1, be flat off the ball right there, foot fire it, and then as you get into them and stop their momentum, as you see what they're doing, now you can start to torque them. Right arm right here, great job by the left tackle with the left arm, getting the torque right there. I'd like to see it under the armpit instead of on top of the armpit. But again, he gets the torque I want. He gets it moved. Fullback gets what we need. Guards tight. Boom, hits him square. Back nose bounce right there. What we got here? Here's choking down again. Now, right guard right here does an excellent job. Again, center. This is why center can choke it. Watch the left tackle right here. Center, you got all day, man. Don't leave our right guard hung out to dry. Our right guard does an excellent job right here. This is what I'm talking about. We weren't even teaching the playing long last year. Watch him right here with this left arm. Where's the left arm? It's long. You understand what I'm saying? So even without teaching it, we were already doing it. Your really good players are probably, if you go back and watch film, are probably already doing a lot of it. They're already getting that hand out there because they know they're going to have to stab that guy. But at the same time, we got a dirt right here. He's right here. He's just taking that little shuffle. He's just foot firing right down in there flat. Boom. He's able to give our tackle, instead of turning sideways and going flat the old school way and him doing it, that guy would beat us. By him staying square and him foot firing right there flat, it allows him to get a piece of that 3, and he's still got the strength to lift and explode up through that nose guard. So, I mean, I can't exaggerate it enough. You got to play square. You got to play long. I mean, I just think the first guy to turn his shoulders is going to lose. Yeah, I mean, we watch it all the time, and I tell them every drill, where's your shoulders? Where's your hips? Where's your hips? Where's your hips? I mean, you got to go score. The back can't score if his hips are turned sideways. We can't score if our hips are turned sideways. I mean, even on the skip pull right here, hips are pretty much, I mean, yeah, we're turned at a 45, but we're still going to be able to score in the end zone. He's still going to be able to get to the end zone right there at the front corner. Here's a great look of the A. Now the center with the switch. Now watch the center right here with the choke. This is a game later after the game where he wasn't choking it. Watch the shade right here with the switch call. Again, a shade. Man, we know something's coming. Now he's choking it. This is what we should have done last game versus that bear look. Now he chokes it. Guard's able to stay to it. Now, this is why you don't pierce the. This is what everybody's saying. You got to get vertical right here. You got to get vertical. This is why I firmly believe you cannot pierce the line of scrimmage right off the bat. Watch the right tackle right here. He pierces the line. He's having to turn back now. He's having to turn back right here to pick up the swipe, and he can't get up to the linebacker. Now they've got the linebacker meeting us in the hole free. If we're square right there, if we're foot firing flat, we'll naturally pick this up from the tight end, and then we'll be able to get up with our tight end to that linebacker getting OTT. So, again, that's why you cannot turn sideways. That's why you can't penetrate the line on your gallop step to me. Any question, power guys? I got plenty of cut-ups, man. I can sit here and go all day on this.
Yeah.
But right here now, okay, this is kind of good. Like I said, these guys are great at stopping the run right here. They do a great job. They're an excellent team. They've been one of the top defenses in the nation for years. And our defense and their defense battle it out every year to see who's going to have the best stats at the end of the season. Well, right here's the reason why. I mean, you can see him right here. Watch the 2. I mean, he's not just barreling off down in there. If you're trying to go kill that 2 technique, you're going to fall flat on your face. Well, one thing, I know they're late getting lined up, but a big part of it I'll say right here is You got to be able to just read it across the board. You can't just magically say, all right, everybody step at a 45, everybody take a lead 45, go right now, get your head across the body and bring your backside arm to the rib cage, bring your front side arm to the front side chest and go. You better be able to take that flat lateral right there and lateral down on it and read it. You can see the tackle right here on the read it. Right here, we're making a read it call for everybody, where everybody up front on the front side is reading it. Watch the tackle read it. Just that little foot fire, boom. Take him, throw him where he wants to go. He's penetrating, knocks our guard off, but our guard ends up, our tight end ends up picking the guy up who's trying to loop around our guard right here. They're running a twist stunt. You can see them right here. They're penetrating the 7 or the 5, and they're trying to loop that 2, and our tight ends end up picking up the looper. Number one way people are going to try and stop power is to loop. As we all know, they're going to penetrate the 3, loop the nose, penetrate the 5, loop the 3, things like that, just to get an extra hat over there, hoping you're leaning. You can pick those games up by foot firing, by a lateral down square right there, staying totally square. But see what's got here. Oh, this one's beautiful. I'd add this one in here. This is one of those clinic B blocks right here that you got to put in every gap. You know how it goes. This is beautiful. You can see that little gallop. One little, boom. One little, boom. 2, 3 big. Takes the knee right there. Takes the knee straight to the defender. Takes the knee straight to the defender's crotch right there. Trying to take that knee right down the middle of him. Knocks the hip by. You see the flipper come through right there. Guard does a great job. Inside arm of the guard is on the rib cage. Outside arm of the guard is down the middle. You can see the guard's knee coming hip to hip right there. Just as we all know, true prototypical double team. You can see us work the this is one of those we got away with right here. You should have been making a dirt call. We don't, because these 2 tackles were extremely athletic. They were a set of talk about growing guys up. These 2 are a perfect example of it.
Your dirt call is like a TNT, like
yeah.
Center's going back on the 3 technique, and the
they're
guard's
going back, but we're reading it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like if they're giving us that bear front, that head up nose 2 3s, whatever you want to call it, TNT, if they're giving us that look, we're getting some kind of game. You understand what I'm saying? And so they're just sitting there, they're up there, dirt. Well, that just tells them down, read it. You know what I mean?
Dirt means down, read it. Okay.
Yeah. So they're just foot firing right there. They're lateral down as they go, and they're just coming to read it. Center should be choking it. But right here, we don't do that because these 2, like I was fixing to say, guy right here played quarterback in high school, the right tackle, and he played tight end. Neither one of them played offensive line hardly at all in high school. But they're a set of twins. They're both about 6'4", 6'5". They ended up, I signed them at 240. They ended up leaving here at 300 pounds. They were both All-Americans for me, extremely athletic, but just growing them up in the program, things that people don't do much anymore. You know how it is. And you're able to add 50, 60 pounds to a kid by doing that. You're able to get great athletes. But you can watch. We try to do the, try to do the old slingshot technique here. He gets it, but it's probably a hold. But, hey, they didn't call it. It's really not holding. I don't say we hold. We temporarily delay people.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is. Down here, we like to go, kids like to go mudding and things like that. Well, you don't get stuck unless somebody's got to come pull you out. You just get temporarily delayed for a little bit. So same deal. We're just temporarily delaying that defender. We're not holding him. Holding him means somebody had to come get him out. Here's a good example of the fullback we're talking about with the 9 going out. Fullback ISO. Just ISO rules that fullback. Go to first backer. Get to that inside shoulder. Watch him get to inside shoulder. Most defenders anymore, they're not grown up playing 2 back sets where they're used to fitting the fullback coming at them, my offensive lineman coming at them. They're going to bounce outside. They're going to give you that inside track. As he goes to take it, boom. They're not used to spilling things. They're boxing it. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to hitting it down in there and spilling, getting it outside. So, but that's why we preach that to our linebackers. Well, Troy, what other questions y'all got, man?
I want to see some counter.
Okay. All right. Let me get to that here real quick.
And probably like GT more than anything.
Yeah.
But if I'll watch anything you got.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind how you do with the H2.
All right. Here's a little GF. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Here's GF right here.
Oh, man.
Okay, we're going to bring jet sweep. We're going to fake the jet. We're going to be in the gun right here on this exact one. We will run it out pistol too. But when we bring the jet, we're going to bring the jet, fake the jet. Great play actions off this. Great play actions with the wheel route, the post route by the receiver, wheel route by your, you know what I'm saying? You got all kinds of multitude of stuff. But same double. We're going to be flat right here. Now here's another example of reading it. You got a shade. Now you know with that shade right there, you're planning on him crossing face. You're thinking he's going across the face. Guard, great job not getting downfield. If he goes right now and high knees right now, he's not picking up that looper. You know how it is. But by him just taking that little bitty short step, he turns a little bit right here. But this was his sophomore year, his first year to play it. You can definitely tell that's that same left guard you were seeing as a senior last year in a lot of those cut-ups. It's fun to see guys grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to see them mature and grow up. I know you do that every day in high school with the way it is too. You get to see them grow up from freshmen to seniors. How much better they get. Same look right here, same exact thing, bringing the jet. Man, I mean, you can tell they got the whole kitchen up there on the line of scrimmage.
Man,
everybody just go down. Ain't much you can do here. They got everybody up there. They got, I guess that's more of a gap 9 than a gap 8, old school gap 8. That's more of a gap 9. But right here again, we're going to be flat. You can see the tight end. We're going to be flat. You can see him right there, root the feet. Watch the hands come up and under with the tight end, explode up through, set the edge. I mean, our tight ends are going to be able to set the edge. I'd like to see the guard cover up a little more. He flips his hips too much right here. I'd like to see him cover up more. Backside, we're going to call that tackle down. We're going to block back to the center. We're going to call that tackle down. We're going to take our backside tight end, gap hinge that, and work that back outside. But again, you got the jet sweep coming to slow down any kind of outside blitzer. We will hand that jet as well right there. We'll do the exact same thing. Arc here, lead there, and hand that jet. You know what I mean? So they do have to honor that same jet sweep. But you can see guard coming. We're going to open pull. We're going to quarter pull, old school trap. We're going to quarter pull. You can see him turn on the counter. I'd like to see that foot even shorter, but still great pull. Great getting the shoulder, same foot, same shoulder. Get it up under the chin. Get it up under him right there. Bring the flipper and bring the clamp. I can't talk about it enough. When you're pulling, bring that flipper shoulder and bring the clamp. The clamp is what prevents them from rolling out inside of you. I don't know who you'd be going nuts right here, Troy. You see that yellow hanky coming there.
I mean, I'm used to it. I'm surprised when there ain't a flag thrown.
Yeah,
but that's a heck of a kick out block, man.
Yeah, it is. I don't know who.
I mean, that should be like, that should be on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
what a trap looks like, man.
I don't know what. Here's another good one right here. Now, here's a good one with a tight 5. Now we go to an open end. We're in bunch right here. We're in doubles bunch. Now we got our fullback over here. We got our tight end over here on the line of scrimmage. Now we've got a receiver over here. We're just in 11 personnel with our tight end backside on the line of scrimmage and doubles bunch. We're going to bring the jet sweep. We're going to arc right there, put our receiver up to the safety. Short. Now we're going to run short counter instead of long counter to the tight end. Now we're going to pull it short. Again, we never pull for the log. Number one thing for us, I don't pull for the log. I don't teach log. To me, you naturally roll into a log. We're pulling the kick every time. And if that DN squeezes so hard that we can't get underneath him, you're naturally going to hit him right down the middle and go to the outside shoulder. I think if you start trying to tell guys, hey, if he squeezes logging, well, then all of a sudden you know how it goes. Your guard's making a loop-de-loop back there, and he's 2 yards deep in the backfield, and that dude's blowing us up, wrong shoulder and blowing us up. I think if you teach them to kick every time, they naturally fall into the log, and the log ends up working out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're going to log themselves.
Yeah, they end up logging
They
themselves.
do what they're supposed to do. If they wrong arm it or wrong shoulder it, they're going to log themselves.
Yep, and so that's why we teach it. Here's the example of we talked about the tackle a minute ago, flat, flat, flat. He sees the one go away. Now he's going to start getting upfield. Backer's shoulders are square the whole time. Great. Go to backside hip. Good. You ain't even got to block the guy. I mean, you just got to shield him. You see what I'm saying?
Let me see that play side tackle there. Should that play side tackle be running back on that backer? Or should he stay on his track?
That's his backer he's going to, and that's what I'm talking about. When he goes down flat, that's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about power, and I said he got up and pinned the guy because the guy's shoulders were turned. Now watch 41, or I guess it's 41, yeah. Watch his shoulder stay square the whole time. So right now, we know go to backside hip. Don't try to pin that guy. Because if you try to get up, that's our backer. Because you can't leave. We're running nub side counter. Well, there's 1. 2 is that linebacker. 3 is right there by the receiver. So we can't leave 3 outside of us. This tackle knows that when he IDs the deuce block right here. He knows he can't leave 3 outside. DN's 1, linebackers 2. Well, there's 3. No matter where 3 is, if I'm running nub side counter, I have to double team to 3. Does that make sense to you? And that's why he's going to him. Because if he doesn't go to 41, if he keeps going down flat, 41's going to sit there and make the play. You understand what I'm saying? Because our fullback's coming to block 17, our guard's coming to kick here, and our receiver's coming up to 19.
Explain to me your count system when you're talking about this kicking. Like you're counting from the outside in. Who do you start the count with? Like the walk player or the kick out guys? The kick out guy one?
Our tackle, when he's going to ID his double right here, his B block, he gets up on the line of scrimmage. He's going to see the DN. He knows it's open in counter right now by formation. He knows by formation I'm running open in counter. So now it becomes right there. He becomes 1. The DN automatically becomes 1. Now I find the first linebacker, whether he's outside or inside the box, the first unaccounted for linebacker, which right now, first unaccounted for linebacker is 17. So he knows right now that becomes 2. So the guard knows I'm pulling for the DN. The fullback knows I'm coming to fit off the guard's butt blocking. He doesn't know I'm blocking 17, 19, 10, 21. He knows I'm fitting off that guard's kick block. And he knows if I see the guy's tail, I'm going to bang it up in the hole. If I see the guy's shoulder, I'm getting outside the guy. You understand what I'm saying? So we're teaching him right there. He knows I'm fitting up in here for first thing. Does that make sense on the count?
Yeah, the tackle's technique, was he too fast to get to the backer, or should he allow the backer to come to him? Is that the reason that or the guy just played too far over the top of it?
No, I love what the tackle does because watch right here. Tackle holds it down, down, down. The 1 is he's tight to that guard. Here, we can see it better from the wide. See how tight that tackle is to that 1 technique?
Yeah.
There is no way that 1 is coming across us. See, we're flat on the line of scrimmage right now. He knows that guy's slanted inside. He's still coming down. He's still down. Right now at this point, my backer scraped over the top of me. Great. Go to inside hip and kick him out. He got over the top. I think a common misconception on so many counters, so many powers, duo, all that, you have to stop the backers from getting over the top. Well, the minute you start teaching your kids to me, hey, you got to stop him from getting the OTT, what are they going to do?
Under you.
They leave the double team. Oh, golly, I should be embarrassed about this being an offensive line coach. Great offensive line, great coach, wide zone guy, Broncos. Just went brain dead. You know,
Alex Gibbs.
Yes, Gibbs. I'm so sorry, everybody.
No, that's okay, dead. Coach.
Hey, but anyway, Gibbs said it in one of his clinics. All great backers make the play where? Back door, right?
Yes.
All great backers, flow, stick a foot, go back door and make the play. Okay. Same thing on counter. All great backers start to get OTT, get you going to their front side shoulder. And what do? They stick a foot, play downhill, rip up through you and knock you sideways. Well, if you're going to backside shoulder or backside hip, you're going to square that guy up if he plays downhill. You're going to kick him out. As long as he's square, you keep attacking backside hip, and you're going to let him get over the top. It's the back's job to make you right. You'll see the back right here. Our back is aiming out here. But what does he see? Guard kick. The second puller now getting up in here. He knows now I'm banging it as well because he saw the guard kick. He's reading the second puller. You see what I'm saying? He sees second puller fit up in there. All our tackle's got to do now is just wall that guy outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why we teach, if they're square, go to backside hip. You understand what I'm saying there? Because if he's square, if you go to front side shoulder, he's going to blow you up and make the play inside. Whereas now my back's having to bounce it, and they got all kinds of secondary guys who are fitting the run out there. They don't have secondary guys who are fitting A and B gap. It takes a special safety you want to go fit A and B gap. Here's a great job again. Guard pulling so tight, guy can't get inside. Second puller, he's on the line of scrimmage. Guy say you can't pull from on the line of scrimmage? Yes, you can. He's just like a tackle. He ain't no different than an extended tackle. You see him skip pull. Tries to flip or clamp. Guy flips off outside. Who cares? But again, back's going to make us right there. Aim outside. Bam, stick the foot. Get vertical. Okay, let me get to that's a bunch of GF. Let me get, you want CT. You want GT, right?
Yeah, I want to see GT.
Okay.
And maybe a few CTs or how do y'all run it? CT and CF both?
Yeah, here's GFQ.
I want to see it from the pistol. If you got any from the pistol with the
yeah, I do. Let me find it. Here's Wildcat. You know, I said we get in it. We're on about the 40 right here. Exact same thing you saw us with the quarterback handing it. Now we just go to Wildcat. Now, we'll hand this jet sweep. This guy's going out here just to eye candy. Helps to have really good backs, too.
Yeah, they can't outnumber you there.
No. But let me find, I know we've got some out of the pistol. Here, you asked if we run the quarterback. Here's quarterback running it. Here's Q counter with the quarterback. This was a mud game, as you can tell. It's about 3rd and 10 right here. Or something like that. We knew we were, you know what I mean? It wasn't one, it was a monsoon. It wasn't one where you wanted to get out there and
man, it's illegal what your pullers do to those guys. That's assault in some states.
Hey, great thing. That guy you see pulling, that guy kept doing it. He was a walk-on who ended up becoming a 2-time All-American. So it was great. Well, here's Q power again with the Q faking the jet, faking the handoff. We don't get here's a great example of the tackle, just what we just talked about. Here's one. Earlier, the tackle did a great job. He was tight to the one. Same exact look. Watch what happens. If our quarterback has to bang this, if our quarterback doesn't bounce this and he had to bang it, that linebacker's making the play for 0 yards.
Ran up underneath of him.
Yep. Whereas if he'll go tight, flat with 1, flat with 2, 3, vertical, and hug the line of scrimmage and attack backside hip, that guy's got a bow over the top. And if our quarterback had to bang it, he would be in there. You understand what I'm saying there? And that's why we teach going to backside hip. Let me find, I know I've got something out of the pistol. Here you go. Here's the pistol. Right,
yeah, I want to see the end zone. I want to see the court.
Okay, we're in 11 personnel right here. Again, we're gonna pull the tight end right here.
And he's off the midline.
Yep.
Just like Colin Kaepernick and Lamar Jackson does it.
Yep. We're going right off the midline with it.
Boom, boom.
Now here's your log. Naturally happens. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't force it, it's naturally going to happen. If you coach the log, I think here it is out of the pistol again. Now we're in unbalanced. We got tackle over, tight ends over here now. So now tight ends on the double team block. You can see him. He does a great. I mean, people a lot of times, oh, y'all are using your tight end. He's good enough to play tackle. Well, yeah. I mean, he does it already at tight end. What's the difference between this lateral down and the lateral down if he's one guy removed? It's the exact same block. I'd like to see him get the backside hip instead of front side. But again, puller going into the dig. Now, there's no reason we should be able to get inside of that guy. But again, because we preach it so much to dig out, they're going to pull into the line of scrimmage. That's the biggest part of it. Yeah, I'd like to see center right here with the shade to choke it. Guard does a great job on the flat step. I'd just like to see him keep staying square a little bit longer instead of turning sideways. All right, let me find GT here. There's loop. Here's a great way. I'm going to show you this one real quick. All right, you got loop. Now you got fives that are squeezing you off so tight your tackle can't get up. Like running nub side counter. Your five is squeezing you so tight your tackle can't get up.
Yeah, you widen them out.
Now, looping. Just influence him, kicking.
Yeah, just like you would do with the tight end that can't block down on a 7 technique.
Same deal. Right here, same exact thing. Okay, now versus odd front. You got a 4. Well, this guy trying to run open end counter to a 4 technique, what do you tell his tackle? I mean, he danged if you do, danged if you don't. I mean, he got to hesitate. He's got to sit there and he's unsure where the guy's going. It slows him down. Well, just loop it.
Yeah, look at what that 4-eye does.
That's the first time we ran it. Now, second time, I tell them all the time, hey guys, the first time you run it, you're gonna get a great block guard. The second time, get ready. That 4's fixing to come at you. Right here, he plays it better. You see what I'm saying? He's like, oh no, you fooled me once. Won't get fooled again there. Great song, by the way.
Yeah, I like it. Boom.
But anyway, there's loop. Just a different thing to do. Just another idea. If you're getting type 5s, you can't get outside of them. Here's one, another type 5. Now, you can't run this to a B-gap player, but insert. Now it's just counter insert. Okay? All right. Now we're going to motion quarterback out, go a little wildcat with it. Now we're going to arc our tight end. We're going to bring guard and fullback from backside, just run a little different counter action. Okay, here's an insert look. Okay. Now you got a type 5 who's been squeezing you off, won't let your tackle get up to a nub. You don't want to loop him because they got a 6-man box. Now just run insert. You got to have a check with this because if it's a B-gap player, you can't run it. But now just base your tackle. Pull your guard, fit your insert guy up in there. Watch how tight the insert guy is, the second puller. He even turns the guard. He's so tight. That's beautiful. I mean, you got to be tight on those pulls. All right, now find GT. That's insert, GF blast, GF hitch, bubble. Here's GT insert, GTQ. Here we go. Oh, that take pause. All right. Now you got GT. Now, again, I'd like to see this guard tighter. I'd like to see him more inside out. There's no way we shouldn't kick that guy. You understand what I'm saying? But on the same terms, they know if it's Q, we're trying to get the quarterback's probably going to bounce it. You know what I'm getting at? He ain't a running back. But again, great job right here. You can see the GT. It's just the bash that everybody's doing. You know how it is. You're reading that guy. You're reading that D end right there. If he squeezes hard and there's only one outside, you give it. Well, right here, quarterback knows there's two unblocked guys out there. Don't give that ball. Run counter. We do try. If we're running nub side counter, we're going to try and split them out. We want that D end to get as wide as possible so that guard can have room to get down in there. You know what I mean? So especially if you got a one technique, go ahead and widen out a little bit. Now, here's one thing we do to open in counter. We're going to take what I call a little scooch step. I got this from Alan Rudolph up there at Ohio when he was at Arkansas State. We're going to take this little scooch step right here. And the reason why on nub counter is to be able to absorb that guy if he crosses face hard. Does that make sense to you? And you can see it right there. It's a little big, but it's really just a short, quick step. And it's really just taking your second step first instead of your second step second. You understand what I'm saying? But it helps you absorb that guy on a tight 5 and be able to swipe him and throw him inside. Here we get the guard. Here's what I was saying. Quarterbacks like to get outside. You know what I mean? But right here we couldn't. They box us in right here. I'd like to see him get downhill on that. Here's a good one, GT. Now you got can't remember where it's smash. Oh yeah, we're on bolt right here. Okay. Again, watch the second pull or the tackle, flipper clamp. Like to see him dig it out even more, getting inside out. You can see the guard try to get the arm back inside. As he goes to pull, hits a little wide, tries to get it back inside, does a good job of locking on with it. This is what I was talking about with that 4 with an open-end tackle. That's hard to know what to do right there. I'd like to see him a little flatter, not at him, just a little flatter, but that's hard to, you know how it is. Those 4 techniques, they're a different deal, especially when you're trying to run open-end stuff. You better have a plan for them for sure, and you better have something to help your guys where they don't hesitate if they get beat one time, and you know how it goes. This kind of what you were wanting to see, Troy?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Let me get to one more here. This is a good one. We're going to work the tight end up. Again, play action. He's working right there to cut off that backer. He's working in there, but at the same time, see what I'm saying? We'll play action that same way, block it the same way, put the fullback here, base that guy, slip him up there. But GT again, right here. Tackle does a great job. He knows he got a 1 or shade. No need to go way on down in there. Boom, right here. He knows right now you're asking about count. 1, 2. He knows his count is all the way back to here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because 1 and
we're
2
not worried about
take care of the trapper and wrapper.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that cat way out there. He's 10 yards deep, 5 yards wide. Tackle does a great job. His backer blitzes backside or plays the fake or whatever. Plays the quarterback great. Get up on safety. Just continuing back door. Saves us right there. Makes the big play. Let me get to this one. Here it is. All right. Nope, that ain't it. Here it is. All right. Now, another GT. But now, release them vertically and run your smash route with it. Read your DN. DN squeezes, pull it. There you go. I know we're talking about gap schemes, and I got to a pass route, but hey, had to show you one play action at least. You know what I mean? And it was to a fullback. So, I mean, come on, you got to show them some love, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like an extra offensive lineman. Well, Troy, what else you want to see, man?
Man, I'm good, Coach. I'm just thoroughly impressed with you and your team, man. I mean, I never heard of your team, never heard of you, but now I know. And man, I'm gonna be watching y'all, man.
We've got a saying around here: stay in your lane and do your job. I mean, that's kind of what we do. We don't put it out there a lot, but I mean, I will say we've had a great team. I can't say enough about us. We've been in the last I think it was 52 or 53 top 25 polls in D2.
I can see why.
We're a gym down here, and like I said, Coach Knight, Coach Derby, our whole staff, Coach Thompson, our DC, our whole staff, we've all been together for a long time, and we know each other really well. We grow our kids up. We love on our kids. I mean, I think that's a big thing with it. We've got it kind of our niche here in the way we do things.
What do y'all do on defense?
We're a multiple defense, but I think you have to be in this day and age. You know how it is. You see every front known or every offense known to mankind from week to week. But we're gonna base with a 4-3 look. We're gonna base with a 4-3 and be 4 down. But we will slip into some 3 down stuff. We will slip into some 4-2-5 looks. Do what?
Some 5 down.
Yeah, we'll slip into 5 down. I mean, and so our defense does an excellent job too as well of
I bet.
a lot of different stuff.
I would love to coach defense for y'all. Yeah, man.
I love coaching offense with them. I can tell you that. They do a great job.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching y'all, Coach. But thank you.
Definitely.
I'm pressed in.
Having me on, man.
Thank you very much for coming on. I'm gonna press in. We'll sit here and talk for just a second, Coach. Thank you.
Definitely. I appreciate all y'all do, and definitely you, Coach McNally, Tip of Spear with Scott Peters and them, man. That stuff's great.
Thank you, Coach.
It's great. I wish that stuff was out 25, 30 years ago.
Man.
Would have been awesome.